Most people walk past signs without ever thinking about them. Parking signs, roadway instructions, safety warnings on fences and gates. They blend into the background of daily life. But reflective aluminum signs are different. They are designed to be seen not when things are easy, but when things are difficult. Not in daylight, with clear skies, but in darkness, rain, fog, and emergencies when visibility is low and attention is critical. In this video, we go behind the scenes to show how a reflective aluminum sign is physically produced, from a raw sheet of metal to a finished, high-visibility sign ready for installation. Before printing begins, the panel must be prepared. Reflective aluminum is an unforgiving surface. Dust will show. Oils from fingerprints will show. Even static-held debris can bond under ink and become permanent. So the first step is slow and controlled. The surface is cleaned, wiped, checked, and cleaned again if anything remains. This preparation is not optional. It is the difference between a clean, professional result and a permanent defect baked into the metal. Once the panel is ready, it is carefully positioned and loaded into the HP R2000 latex printer. Unlike basic vinyl signs, this process prints directly onto rigid aluminum. No adhesive layers, no transfer film, no separate mounting step. Direct-to-substrate printing means there is no opportunity for shifting, bubbling, or peeling later. The ink becomes part of the panel itself. When printing begins, the machine lays down UV-stable ink engineered to survive outdoor exposure. Sunday rain, heat, cold, years of seasonal cycles. As the ink is applied, it is cured instantly with integrated LED lamps. There is no drying rack, no wait, no delay between printing and handling. To understand why these signs matter, you have to understand how reflective material behaves under light. Reflective aluminum does not simply shine. It returns light back toward the source, a property called retroreflectivity. When headlights hit the panel at night, the material sends that light straight back to the driver's eyes, making the sign appear to glow in the dark without any electricity or illumination. This behavior is not decorative. It is functional and intentional. In darkness, most surfaces absorb or scatter light. Signs mounted on steel, wood, or painted walls fade into the background. But reflective aluminum reverses that. It activates precisely when visibility is worst. This is why reflective signs are assigned to locations with consequence. Work zones, traffic control, school crossings, parking enforcement, rail intersections, hospital access lanes, industrial yards. During normal daylight hours, they look like ordinary signs. People pass them with no reaction. But the moment the environment becomes hostile, nighttime, storm, hazard, accident, their visibility increases right when human attention decreases. This is not an aesthetic choice. It is an engineered safety function. Reflective aluminum signs are not designed to look nice. They are designed to be seen when failing to see has consequences. Reflective aluminum signs are not placed everywhere. They are used in locations where visibility is not optional, where missing a sign could cause harm, liability, or confusion. You see them in municipal road systems, highway infrastructure, construction and detour sites, school zones and campuses, hospitals and emergency corridors, distribution yards and logistics lanes, airport service roads, industrial restricted areas. In these environments, daylight visibility is not the problem. Nighttime visibility is. For example, a driver approaching a closed lane at 1 a.m. must recognize the warning before reaching the barrier. A truck backing into a dock must identify directional markings in poor weather. A pedestrian crossing near a school at 6 a.m. in winter must be detected by oncoming vehicles. Reflective aluminum signs serve these functions without electricity, wiring, or maintenance. They simply work when light finds them. That reliability is the reason governments, contractors, and property operators specify reflective aluminum instead of cheaper non-reflective substrates. It's not about how the sign looks in ideal conditions. It's about whether it is still legible in the worst conditions. That is the difference between a general-purpose sign and a reflective aluminum safety sign. Reflective aluminum signs are not casual print products. They are regulated and inspected in many environments because failure is not cosmetic, it is consequential. A non-reflective sign that goes unnoticed at night can lead to collisions, injury, legal liability, insurance claims, worksite shutdowns. That is why reflective signage is often tied to standards and expectations set by municipalities, highways, and corporate safety policies. Even without referencing specific legal documents, the requirements are consistent. The sign must remain readable in poor weather, in low light, at distance, for years, without degradation. Durability is not just about weather. It is also about stability of information over time. If a sign cracks, peels, or fades, the message becomes unclear, and unclear messages cause hesitation and accidents. Printing directly onto aluminum provides longevity that vinyl-applied signs cannot always guarantee. No adhesive to fail, no film to wrinkle, no layer to lift or bubble in heat. When done correctly, the printed image becomes bonded into the surface itself, creating a sign that can remain outdoors through sun, wind, rain, cold, salt, and years of seasonal cycles. When done incorrectly, the consequences appear slowly and invisibly. Edges lift, corners curl, surface haze forms, ink fractures under stress. A sign that looks fine on day one can fail in the exact conditions when it is needed most. That is why preparation, equipment, and process matter, not for appearance, for reliability. Once the panel is fully prepared and clean, it is loaded into the HP R2000 latex printer for direct-to-panel printing. This stage is where precision matters most. The aluminum panel must sit flat, stable, and motionless. Any vibration or shift mid-print will distort the image permanently. Unlike flexible media, aluminum cannot be repositioned if alignment is lost. As the printer begins, UV-stable ink is deposited directly onto the reflective surface. These inks are engineered for endurance. They are built to survive exterior environments for years without losing legibility. During printing, the HP R2000 uses integrated LED curing. That means the ink is hardened instantly as it is laid down. There is no secondary drying room, no rack time, no waiting period. The moment the panel exits, the printed surface is fully cured and stable. Direct-to-aluminum printing eliminates multiple layers and multiple points of failure. There is no film to stretch, no adhesive to shift, and no mounting step where misalignment could occur. What is printed is final, permanent, bonded, and dimensionally accurate to the substrate itself. The printing stage is not just about applying graphics. It is about locking information into a material that is expected to function in the dark when people depend on it most. There are many ways to make a sign: vinyl on plastic, paint on wood, ink on paperboard, banner fabric with grommets. But reflective aluminum is selected when consequences exist. Not when decoration is the goal. Not when cost is the first priority. Aluminum is durable, rigid, corrosion-resistant, and dimensionally stable. It will not swell in humidity, crack in cold, or warp under heat. When paired with a reflective surface, it gains a second property: function in darkness. Other substrates can display information in daylight, but they disappear at night unless lit by external sources. Reflective aluminum reverses the dependency. It creates visibility instead of needing visibility to already exist. There are environments where failure is tolerated: a birthday banner, a sidewalk sale sign, a temporary window poster. If those are unseen, the impact is minimal. Reflective aluminum signs exist in environments where failure is not tolerated, because failure to see the message at the right moment has cost. That is why professionals specify reflective aluminum. Not because it is trendy, not because it is attractive, but because it performs under conditions where other signs stop functioning. When reflective aluminum signs are produced incorrectly, the failure is rarely visible on day one. The panel may look acceptable when it leaves the shop, but the defect reveals itself later, often when it is too late to correct. Common failure modes include surface contamination, causing ink lift over time, poor cleaning leading to patchy reflectivity, improper handling, causing microscratches that become glare, incorrect curing leading to premature fading. These failures do not simply degrade appearance, they degrade legibility at the exact moment of need. A reflective sign that becomes unreadable in darkness ceases to be a safety device and becomes a liability. The risk is not abstract. A sign that fails may cause drivers to miss detours, workers to enter restricted zones, pedestrians to cross unsafe lanes, emergency responders to lose orientation. That is why precision in both preparation and printing is non-negotiable. Reflective signs are not decorative prints. They are engineered communication devices expected to perform under stress. If a decorative sign fails, someone gets confused. If a reflective safety sign fails, someone can get injured. When a reflective aluminum sign is produced correctly, its value is not seen in a print shop. It is seen in the field. Out on a dark rural road, a driver sees a warning in time and corrects course without incident. In a construction zone at night, a truck operator identifies lane shifts before crossing into active workers. On a hospital property, emergency responders locate the correct entrance without hesitation. None of those outcomes look like success. They look like nothing happened. And that is the goal. A correctly made reflective sign prevents events that never appear in the news because the error never occurred. Reflective signage is invisible when it works because it removes the moment of danger before it becomes visible. This is why quality matters at the production stage, not for appearance, but for function at the moment of stress. A sign that guides someone at the exact second they cannot see is doing work that is invisible, silent, and critical. So now that we have seen where reflective aluminum signs are used and why their performance matters, we return to the moment of production. A raw reflective aluminum panel arrives with no markings and no meaning. It does nothing on its own. Only after it is cleaned properly, aligned precisely, and printed on the HP R2000 with UV-stable ink and instant curing does it become a functional safety communication device. Once printed, it leaves the shop not as artwork, but as a piece of infrastructure, something that will serve people who may never notice it, but will benefit from it in a critical moment. The value of the sign is not in how it looks on a table, but in how it performs in darkness, in weather, and in urgency. From start to finish, the printing of a reflective aluminum sign is an exercise in prevention, preventing confusion, preventing error, preventing harm. A sign that is prepared correctly, printed correctly, and installed correctly will do its job silently for years with no applause and no attention. And that is the mark of a successful safety sign. It is invisible in calm moments because it prevented the moment when it would have been needed most. If you made it this far, thanks for watching. We put out videos like this to show the real behind the scenes of sign production, not just the finished product. If you want more print shop content, tutorials, and real workflows like this, hit like so YouTube knows this was useful, and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. See you in the next video.